Hi, Manoj sir. How are you doing?
Hello. How good? All good.
I'm going to dive straight into Dial 100. Dial 100, which seems to be very intriguing by the trailer. Well, that mystery element is there, that thriller element is there. So, my first question to you is, Manoj sir, what is it about the script that you read and said, yeah, I need to be a part of Dial 100? Tell me more about that.
When you're reading a script, you're not reading it as an actor. You're actually reading it as a reader.
Mhm.
And if it engages you, if the purpose and the intention of the writer is really it succeed
Right.
with you as a reader,
Mm.
uh, then if my reader is excited, then my actor starts from there. After that, the actor starts.
Right.
Then actor wants to know the project.
Right.
Actor wants to know what his role is about. At times, the script is fantastic, but you don't see yourself in any of the role.
Yeah.
Or everything is all right, but somewhere you are apprehensive about the ability of the other people.
Mhm.
Then you don't do it. You don't want to start with any kind of a doubt. So I
Yeah.
kind of leave it halfway.
Mm.
Edge of the seat, the intrigue factor, racing against time, all of the successful theater, the thriller genre, elements are there. But but there is more to it. It's
Mm.
about the emotional aspect. It's also talking about a middle class person who's so careless about his family, who's so not interested in keeping an eye on his own child's or son's growth. He's not interested in anything. He just kind of he's reluctant about getting into the day-to-day household problem. He's so ignorant and reluctant at the same time. His whole idea about family, his whole idea about his love for the family, everything gets questioned just by one call from a
Mm.
strange woman,
Mm.
and that is Neena Guptaji's character. This is this is what has really interested me.
Mm.
If it is just a thriller where there are fancy cars or they're racing against time, I have
Mm.
seen it many times.
Yeah.
But if it is getting into the common people's problem, if it is getting into a topical problem, if it is getting into something more than just being a thriller,
Mm.
then it interests me. If it is
Yeah.
talking about a common person's life and his conflict and his contradictions, his dichotomy, all of that, then it really interests me.
Right, right. In terms of this unpredictability, what can we expect from Manoj Bajpayee in Dial 100? How is this role maybe a little different from some of the other stuff that you've done before?
It's a very easy. He's very easy in his work area. It's very
Mhm.
easy. He's not like Shrikant Tiwari, who's always very fidgety,
Yeah.
going through his own problems, and he's not quick in humor. Nikhil Sood is not like that.
Mhm.
He he's that way. He just sits on his job, and he's taking calls, trying
Right.
to divert the calls to concert department. That's what he does,
Mhm.
and that's what he is interested in.
Mhm.
He's very quick. His whole thing about uh, about his fatherhood, him as a father is actually questioned, and where he has to prove himself more than anybody that he's a good father, that
Right.
he's a good husband. He has to prove
Mhm.
it to the family. He has to prove it to himself that he can uh, come to their rescue if they fall into
Right.
any kind of problem. So he's that way. He doesn't have a great humor thing. When you compare it with
Yeah.
Shrikant
Sure,
Tiwari.
Tiwari, yeah.
Yeah, he's a guy who has answer for everything. He's a guy who has solution for everything.
Right.
This guy doesn't. He's
Nothing.
always
Mm.
trying to find. He's trying to find one answer to another. He's trying to find his own ground. Uh, so he's still that unsure kind of a person.
Right.
But he tries. He tries very hard. So yeah, it's going to be a very different experience, and I'm going to see a very different Manoj Bajpayee in this.
Awesome, sir. I cannot wait. And correct me if I'm wrong, sir. This entire film happens in one night. Am I right or
One
wrong?
night, one
In
night,
one night.
one night. Yes, sir. By the
Ooh.
time it's morning, the Nikhil Sood's life has changed completely.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Looking forward to that, sir. Looking forward to that. And also in this film, you've got two very good actors as well as your co-stars, Neena Gupta and Sakshi Tanwar. Would you like to tell us a little bit more about the experience of working with them?
Neena Gupta ji is somebody whom we've seen, over the years, we've seen her,
Yeah.
giving good performances in TV, in films. And also we've seen her, uh, really inspiring uh, uh, women, the next generation, where the girls and the women, in the manner she has lived her
Yeah.
life so independently, and all on her own terms. So she's been an inspiring woman for me, for my wife. We always looked up to her, and so it was a privilege working with her. And there is only one scene that
Mhm.
we come together.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yeah, there are two scenes that I come with Sakshitan, who is playing my wife. So this is
Right.
that kind of a film, as we talk about one night. So in that one night, I come face to face only once with Neena ji and twice with Sakshi, who's playing my wife. So
Nice.
this is that kind of a film. But it was a privilege. Sakshi is somebody that I have directed when she was in college.
Oh,
I've done a play where she played the lead, and I remember telling her to take up this profession, and because she was so good even then. So yeah, me, Sakshi and me go a long way.
mhm.
But with Neena ji, I met her for the first time.
Awesome. Awesome, sir. Now, one thing I've noticed, Manoj, sir, that you have really raised the bar of the OTT platform. And if I must say, OTT ka king kon, Manoj
No,
Bajpayee.
no, no. I know people are, most of your fraternity, they love to call me that. But I know, thank you very much
Mhm.
for loving me that way. But at the same time, I must say that I have, more than me. It is Nawaz, it is Pankaj,
Yeah,
it is Jaideep, it is Vijay Verma, Gulshan Devaya.
yeah,
So many actors and actresses. Tapsi. So many people are doing so well, and
right,
they are doing some magnificent work, giving some great performances. I'm learning from them. I'm learning
right,
from them. New method, new approach, new way of doing things. I'm a student of acting.
right.
I'm a student of acting, and that's how I would like to be remained as.
Awesome. You've made the OTT platform come alive. So my question to you is, Manoj, for a film like Dial 100, it's not being released in the cinema, but it's really being released on OTT. So what do you think are the advantages of bringing a film like Dial 100 onto the OTT as compared to having a theatrical release?
With me, it's very simple. For me, the platforms of the mediums never matter.
Mhm.
I Dial 100 was actually we made with the thought that it will release it if the theaters are back to normal.
Right.
We'll release it on OTT if the theaters are not back to
Not bad.
normal. So we
Yeah.
were very open about it. So that also means that we were very, very sure about what we made and what kind of film that we had in our hand, and
Mhm.
we were so uh, the medium is never in question. It's always about what product I have, and we were very sure that if at all we one thing is very sure. Yeah, I mean, if you
Mhm.
put it out on OTT, you have a large number of audience who can access this.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I mean, I was in the mountains for 1.5 year, from the start of the COVID and lockdown. More than 6-7 months I have spent in the mountains. Okay, we were
Wow.
stuck there, and what one has realized that there are no cinema halls. You know,
Yeah.
the cinema halls or the cinema viewing is not a privilege that many people can
True.
boast of
True.
in our country. We
Yeah.
don't have those numbers of cinema halls. So OTT
Mhm.
is reaching everywhere.
Mhm.
They are accessing it on their phones, on their
Yeah.
computer, on their TV, everywhere, and all of them have seen most of my work on OTT now.
Mhm.
So Dial 100 coming on OTT is all win-win situation for us at this
Right.
point of time in
Right.
terms of the speculation that we have. We are expecting very large number of audience logging in and watching the film.
Yeah, that is definitely one advantage. The access that everybody has to their phones and computers, absolutely. Manoj sir, I want to ask you one question. Has Manoj Bajpayee, the man that I'm talking to right now, has he achieved the goals that the younger Manoj Bajpayee had set for himself?
Okay, in my childhood, all I wanted was to become an actor, because becoming an actor was quite a rebel thing that I was going to do for a society that I was born and brought up in. So that first step when I took, I kept on praying God that let me earn my bread and butter as an actor, and that day I will call myself an actor. And when I had done that, that dream was taken care of. After that, I had to set a new goal. And the new goal was to be loved by one and all as an actor, more than a star. Somewhere I felt that the idea came from one of my theater director, that if you are an actor and if you can't really play different roles, you can't really call yourself an actor. So that stayed with me, and I always followed what my director told me. And till now, I'm only following that my roles or performance should not look similar to the last one that I have done.
Right.
So what you should do, that you should just lighten up your shoulder. I mean, keep throwing, keep moving on, keep forgetting what you have done in the past. I've succeeded now because I have practiced it so much that I actually move on. I actually move on from my last work.
Right.
And when I'm doing Dial 100, I'm only doing Dial 100. I'm not thinking about anything
else.
I'm only thinking about how well I'm going to do this character. And that is it. And when Dial 100 is over, I move on to something else. And so what I enjoy is the process of acting, the craft of acting, and how well I'm improving myself, how well I'm evolving as an actor and as a person, both. And that's my area of interest, and it gives me immense amount of pleasure when my director, after the film is over, he tells me that that I have really kind of reinvented myself and explored a new thing about myself. And he's happy with my work. That's my achievement, more than anything else.
So my final question to you is, your own family, your family members, which are some of their favorite roles or films of you that you have done before?
My wife is my biggest critic and my best friend, both. Okay. It's very difficult to, I'd always take her opinion first. She's the first audience for me. And I always take her opinion, and she, sits me down, and we on a morning tea, coffee, she gets into the detail of my performance and the film that I have been part of. And she is, mostly she is right about her observations. So I take her opinion very, very seriously, and I work on it. The others are my, theater directors that I, like my Barry John or N.K. Sharma, all of these friends and my, teachers. They are the people who are they are very honest with me. If they see something, they watch something. They're very honest, and these are the people I admire. These are the people I kind of preserve them, and keep them very close to me. There is a friend of mine, Vineet, who I always speak to. There is a friend of mine, Makran Deshpande. I speak to him about my performance. He's there, and they are very honest. They are my friends. They don't need to impress me. They know it. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you, Manoj Bhai. You are the best. Dial 100, super hit, sir. Super hit.
Thank you. Bye, Sandhu.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you.